Social connection is the next best practice that I'd like to talk about. This is something that is easy to start to do, but very, very hard to do well. What I'm finding is companies that are now doing this transition of finding that people are no longer being, they initially joined and then they start to flake and people don't participate and the engagement drops. If you do this, this has almost got to be a deliberate and iterative process across the organization. And the problem that we're finding is that people are comparing what they did pre-COVID, in other words, meeting up for a drink, to having a video thing. And they're going, meh, this isn't great. This isn't the experience we want. But it's up to leaders to demonstrate that this is the new reality for at least the next 6, 9, 12 months. I don't know, but this is the way we're going to do it. And this is what we need from a company because everybody is working in the same way. Loneliness will definitely be an issue. And this is a constant issue in all fully remote companies. And it's something that this particular social connection element, if you get it right, will help overcome. Remote companies build informal communications. So they're formal about informal communications. They build informal communications into the structure of the week and they make those mandatory. They also create a committee and they set up subgroups and they allow groups to form. They make people responsible for the committee who are not the typical me types, but the less, perhaps the people who are less noisy and less social, as it were, to create a diverse team. So they encourage groups to form. And one of the things you can try is set up tribes. So what Hotjar do is they take one person from engineering, one person from sales, one person from marketing, one person from ops, one person from customer success, and that becomes a tribe outside of what is typically the way their teams would normally work, which was engineering or sales or marketing. So these are some of the things you need to think about. I ran a survey in April with 165 companies. And these are some of the examples of what companies are doing to humanize this experience that we're going through. And it's, there are tons of opportunities for creativity, but as a company, as a leadership team, you've got to convince your team that everybody has to get involved, both on a small scale, so people who love red wine, all the way through to the mandatory elements that you include in it. GitLab, who are sort of the granddaddies of this, they're a 1,300 person organization. They focus very much on this because they've got a huge business, and so they explicitly plan time to create, build, and maintain social connections. They create opportunities for chance virtual meetings and unplanned encounters, and they devote time to fostering relationships and creating room for that human interaction. So they do a bunch of stuff that's pretty interesting. They use emojis to convey emotion. They do talent shows, virtual home tours. They do coffee chats, team social calls, show and tell, DJ rooms, AMAs, various things. They really, really work hard on this, and they've got a team that is dedicated to driving this forward. So as an organization, to get social right has to become a company-wide drive.